All right, today what we're going to talk about is belts. We like to say we make the best belt on the planet. The number one question on social media seems to be, on Facebook especially, but is what is the best belt? What is the number one answer? OEM is. There's a reason why that's the number one answer. That is the belt that's on most people's vehicles because that's what it comes with. So, is the OEM belt not a good belt? No, it's actually a very good belt. But the problem with an OEM belt, to me, is number one, the cost. Now, can anyone make a better belt than the OEM? Sure, we actually do, and we'll explain a little bit why. But you got to consider, Polaris does not make belts. Somebody makes belts for them. Somebody makes belts for us. All right, there's several manufacturers in the United States that make belts. But nonetheless, there's just several ways that you can make a belt. They all use the same materials, rubbers, cord, aramid, Kevlar, which is the same thing. Gates uses carbon fiber cord, but at the end of the day, the material, the black, is more or less the same, except for there are different compounds that do different things. An example is the OEM belt for a 900 Razor 15 and 19. The compound is real sticky, so it has a real jerky start, and it can be easily fixed with a different belt. All right, so let's talk about why we think our belt is the best on the planet. Today's date is January 31st, 2019. This morning I did a sales report to see how many belts we've sold since we started, which was June 28th of 2018. Well, that number this morning was 3,215 belts. We have warranted only 38 belts. How many has failed over warranty? Not just a whole lot more. So we can sport a 1% failure rate. So that means 99% of our belts out there are not having any problems. You just can't be any better than that. So we beat the OEM on price. We actually have a warranty. They do not. You blow an OEM belt, guess what you get to do? Buy another. Then, of course, our warranty is what it is, but we're kind of lenient. You need to read it. As long as you're not abusing things and you don't have any red flags, then we don't have a big issue with it. But if you know you did it or you got problems with your machine, then the warranty don't necessarily cover that. So we beat it on price, we beat it on warranty, and a 99% success rate. That is very hard to beat, okay? But what makes Hunterworks belts different maybe than any other aftermarket? Well, we are the smallest private label belt in the United States. So in other words, anybody else's private labeling is very big. That's to our advantage. If you are Acme Belts and you're going to XYZ manufacturer to private label belts and you say, I'll take every one that you have, just stick my name on them, and then I'll sell them. Well, these companies make their own line, but you got to keep in mind they are middle of the road. There's applications that one belt dimension or compound or whatever does better in other places, and they're always going to be middle of the road. So one private label will say, I'll just take what you got, stick my name on it, and then I'll go to other people and say, here, I'll stick a cardboard sleeve on it with your name on it, and we'll call it a collaboration. Well, it's just a stock belt that one manufacturer makes with two other people's names on it, okay? So the advantage of a small company like us, buying direct, having the input on the belt, and then selling for the most part direct. We do have, I don't know, even now 10 or 15 dealers, but the point is we have the ability to say, all right, this didn't work, let's make this change, or I want to see this, I need this custom dimension. And we have the ability to do that. Now, give you an example of Polaris. RZR, I always use this example. A Ranger 900 and a RZR 1000 do not need a different belt. They think they do because it's a business, it's about money. So we're going to build a belt just good enough for the Ranger and build one just good enough for the RZR. But because of the pulleys are different, same size, their spacing is the same, they actually could run the same belt, but because of money, really more than anything, and I don't blame them. I'm not knocking Polaris or whoever the manufacturer is. That's just smart business from their perspective. All right, so when we say ours is better, I'll guarantee you our belt is way better than the OEM on 900 RZRs, 900 Rangers, the Generals, the 17 Ranger 1000. Why? Because those belts are thinner than ours is, because we're using a standard belt, what we call a standard belt, an HW921K. 921 means 900 to 1000 belt on all of them. It is the thickest, it's thicker than all of those belts from Polaris. Thicker is tougher. Nobody needs to tell you that a 1/2 inch rope is not stronger than a 1/4 inch rope, okay? So hands down, all those vehicles I previously mentioned, there is no question. The quality of ours beats them terribly, plus we have more belt grip. RZR 1000, that is probably the machine that we are the closest on, because our standard belt is going to be extremely equivalent to the OE belt in reliability or whatever, because it's very close dimension. So that's the only vehicle that is close on that you could even debate on. But then we offer a thick belt for the XP 1000, which is thicker than the OE belt, but is primarily used for slower, heavier loaded people. Of course, then we've got our turbo belt, and once again, we've changed our dimensions, custom made, that we think was best for it. Now, I will tell you, as of today's date, there are some aftermarket clutch kits out there, I won't name names, that do have too much travel in the belt system. They're modifying the travel system. All right, we did not design our belts for another aftermarket company's clutch kit. We designed it for stock clutches and the use of the Dalton clutches. It's no different than if you made aftermarket roll cages and a person said, well, will my stock windshield fit on it? No, sir, that fits on stock roll cages. So there are things out there in existence that our belts don't work on. Again, this is today's date, January 31st, 2019, 3 days ago. I had 4 turbo belts in one day had problems. Common denominator, they all had the same clutch kit by an aftermarket company that had over travel, pulling them down in the secondary clutches. I just simply told them, after we figured it all out, our belts don't work with their stuff. We didn't design it for their stuff. Same as our roll cage. Does that mean our belts suck? No, it just means it don't work with their stuff. Okay, now you say, well, ours works, theirs works with this. That's fine, that's their business. Okay, so what we're able to do here at Hunterworks is fix problems. We listen to you. I assure you, I promise you that everything we have at Hunterworks, in my opinion, is going to be the best you can freaking buy. Makes no sense to make anything that's not the best you can buy. If you have trouble with it, you call me and I want to know, because I want to get to the bottom of it. Please have the correct attitude about it, and I know that sounds like a butthole, but I don't mean it to be, is, hey, 99% of your belts work great. What's my 1%? I'm here to help you figure that out, just like those 4 guys. At the end of the day, well, let me back that up. At the start of the day, they weren't real happy campers with our belt. I don't blame them. At the end of the day, through research and pictures and the guy doing belt travel tests for me, we found out the real reason. It wasn't our belt, it was a darn clutch kit. coupled with our belt. So my point is, guys, is we are really working over here hard to make the best stuff we can do. Again, I keep referring to today's date. What you don't know, because we don't tell everything we do, is you probably can't see it, but here's a turbo belt, okay? This has a smaller cog on it. Actually, here's one right here. This is a, what I'm gonna call, I don't really call it this, but we'll call it a Generation 2. We made a change in October. Not because we needed to, because we wanted to. For any of you that don't know, 16 and newer RZRs have this secondary clutch. It has these square pucks, there's shaft spacing issues, and belts can hit the exhaust duct. We were taking a very proactive approach to the problem. So we made, this is an OE belt. I don't know if you can zoom in and see, but it's pretty tall top cog. Our first one was a tall cog. We made it shorter, changed the dimensions just a little bit to give you a little bit more clearance to keep from hitting your exhaust duct. Were we having problems? Nope. You were having problems. We're thinking outside the box. We are able to go in, because we're a small company, and change this belt around to better suit you. Same as this 4 people's here. Well, I immediately went to talk to engineering. We discussed it. We don't want to single that company out, and we don't want to eliminate that customer that uses those products from using our belt. So we'll make a running change at some point, okay? So that's my point. Why are we better? Because we're small. The quality of the belt itself is not a question. The only questions that ever come up is application. Ours may work great here, OEM may work better there. But the point is, you work with me, I work with you. We want to get that number less than 1%. And I made this video because people ask me all the time, what do you think makes your belt better? Because we're not making something necessarily for the masses, this middle of the road. We have specific things to do specific things, and we want to be the experts in the field on this. We want to be the best on the planet. Now, do I know everything I need to know about belts and clutching? Absolutely not, but I'll promise you, as the owner of Hunterworks, I am working for you to make the best of whatever. You can Google us, you can Google Todd at Hunterworks, you can Google whatever you want to Google. You're just not going to find a whole lot of negative about it. We've been doing what we've been doing 15 years. I pray to God that after this period of time, we know what we're doing, and we partner up with good companies to bring you a great product. So, I know that's a little long-winded. I almost sound mad, but I'm not. I just want you to know that we believe in this. Will we make changes to this? Yes, we will, as needed. But if you have problems, all you got to do is pick up the telephone. And I'll say this because I'm making a video. You got something negative to say, pick up the phone. I like negative feedback because if it needs fixing, we'll fix it. Don't let us have to read about it on social media. If you like stuff and you're positive, for God's sakes, put it there because I got to eat. But if it's negative and you need constructive criticism, please call me, please email me. If you think it's junk, it ain't. 99% of everybody's works great. When you're in the 1%, we need to figure out why. So that's, again, so why is Hunterworks belts better? Because you have a company that's been doing this stuff for 15 years behind you, trying to give you the best possible product that it can be. And the last thing I'll say is, you got to understand, a belt is a consumable product. You can have every darn thing right, and we can have every darn thing right, and there are activities out there that just eat the hell out of them, and you know that. And I hope you're the one that when you know that, you just don't call, you just buy another one. But either way, I like to hear the negative and the positive. So, I hope this kind of explains things, and I hope you don't really think I'm being upset or nothing. I'm not. It's just we do get a lot of questions. Well, what you think makes yours better than OEM? OEM isn't good. It's just expensive. You know, that's the thing, and we want to have you an alternative out there for you. And again, we've been doing this so long, I hope that our reputation precedes us. So as I say in all our videos, if you got any questions, give me a call. And as I just started saying is, our call volume is so high, if you can handle it in an email, email me, todd@hunterworks.com. And in the process, or in the meantime, give our belts a try, because I think 99% of you will be happy about it. And you 1%, call me. All right, guys, thank you for your time. If I can help you in any way, let me know.